Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic 2006. Flamecore is in my opinion the worst constructed level in the game. It does not commit any obvious mistakes like the Mark Speed ones, but it is simply a mess. Fittingly, I made a mess of recording it. The final silver medal here is a nightmare to get, but I got it for the very first time ever during my test run. I record those, something funny dumb always happens, so I gave into the temptation to save the file. Which means that the footage you see now is recorded from a level that has 7 medals already collected. The medals will be shown as a supercut at the end. 9 of them, because this level contains the sole instance of a medal you cannot get on your first visit by any means, even with speedrun tricks. Thank you for being almost automatic and very empty beginning part of Flamecore. Now the mess begins, because we have wall running. This one here almost always trips you up, you fall into the lava and die. I'll show that at the end, but I wanted to have this footage pretty much uninterrupted because it, is an okay run through the level where you're going to see most of the slow parts of it deliberately because I fell down here, as you probably could see, and did not take the homing attack chain. The first issue we have here is that the homing attacks on the enemies barely deposit you on the moving platforms. You really have to correct that. And if you are not familiar with how Sonic controls in the air, yeah, this is going to be a little bit tough and annoying at the same time. Also another wall running part, which again, it's just really bad. This is one of the medals I forgot on the test run. So this is number 3 actually. You could have seen 2 before if they hadn't been saved, but I will not let this empty medal counter up here all the time. Just, you know, we have 1 of them collected right now. This is one of the new enemies. The idea is basically wait for the weak point to show up and then you deal double damage to it. It's somewhat complex again, similar to the big Eggman robots, gives you 1000 points as well, but most of the time you probably just want to anti-gravity through them exactly like you do with the Eggman robots. Here again there is downstairs, there is a lot of platforms which are very risky to take, and there is a pretty obvious upper path which is far easier to take and also a huge shortcut. So the bottom part is like a nice idea in case you fall down, but it's actually pretty hard to do that. Like you deliberately have to go down here and you don't really get much for it. You get these 20 rings and otherwise maybe an extra life or so, like here. But yeah, it's one way to go through there, but generally you probably just want to take the most obvious shortcut. Oh really? Thank you for that information. I almost got it wrong. Anyway, if you take these boosters here, you will get propelled into the fire breath of the enemies. This level is great, I tell you. It's just, it contains multiple instances. I cannot even begin to comment on all of them, where how it is put together just plain does not work, and my footage doesn't really do it justice. Like here for example, I know that the homing attack will latch onto the birds. I know that I'm quick enough that the fire that comes from the ground here will not hit me. I know when to hit the second homing attack here to actually reach the enemy, but you will fall into the lava so often when you play this casually. It is disgusting. It just does not work very well. And this is possibly the best that the footage can look, because I know exactly what I'm doing here because I've played this a bunch, but still there is going to be a few slip-ups here and there because you just can't really avoid this. This is the second combat room we have to do. The first one was over rather quickly. I don't quite know what happens here, but the hitbox of those worms is, let's just say, debatable, because usually it does work if you anti-grav through them, but in this case it just did not. This one here is always a hard stopper because it is so hard to get the ring trail in time, and if you get the bounce bracelet upgrade later on, which you need for the one ring which you cannot get at the start, which I've alluded to, then it is even tougher to hit the button at the right time, because you might just plummet to your doom easily. And this here, look at this. If you do not have perfect Sonic air control, you will fall into the lava because you do the homing attack chain and then it just ends. There is nothing underneath you. The platform does not line up with the enemies. You will get pushed into the lava if you do not correct yourself very hard. This spring as well sends you directly into the enemy. I'm not taking it because I want to show off the full room, but again, just another wonderful example of this level being a total mess. It could be better, but it is very bad. Here I will show you something which is maybe intended, but it just does not work at all. And this is this silver medal. Almost Almost. If the hitbox was a tiny bit bigger, this would have worked, but it does not, and thus you cannot get this silver medal without the bounce bracelet, and you still have to deliberately keep one of the enemies alive, because if the cage vanishes, then even the bounce bracelet won't help you. You need the cage around the spring to get to the silver medal. It's terrible. It's absolutely awful design. I hate it a lot. Here I ran into a ring trail that was basically visually gone, but it still pulled me along. It almost killed me again. Not great, not fun. This one up, I almost always overlooked it when I just played the level casually. It's the first time I saw it actually during the test recording. Very fun. And here, going back to the room, I think I showed off most of what you can do here, but again, if you for whatever reason fall down here, there is no reason to do that. There is nothing good here, except for like 1 or 2 boxes with rings. Like, why would you do this for 5 rings? There is no reason to do this, but you can, if you really want to. So these enemies spawn if you kill the giant, but you can actually go over here. The homing attack is good enough for that. This part is also infamous. Didn't get footage of it, but those falling lava rocks that come out of the volcano, they can knock you out of the air and you will die. And there is nothing you can do about it. This is completely random. Also speedrunners say, this is where I roll the dice, I might just die here, and that's it. Here again, if you do not know that the homing attack makes you invincible, would have been thrown into the lava breath of the fire breath of the enemy immediately. It's just wonderful. So this room here, generally, what you can do here in all instances of this room, because the same setup is copy-pasted 4 times, you can just turn around and jump up here and you're at the end of the room. It's wonderful, it's brilliant. I'm doing this right now, basically skipping this entire room, showing off the first invincibility in the game. Amazing, isn't it? Because I'm going to show off how to longer do the room the proper way during the silver medal footage. Yeah. This is something where I'm showing off something you can do here, and that is if you keep the wall run going, it is pretty tough. You will fall down if you trip over any of the lava spewers, which is the issue with the first wall run in the game. Then you will fall down immediately. You can't hit the enemies on the wall. This is important for later, keep it in mind. Anyway, this room here, you're intended to use these purple orb things to light up the room, to lead you, show you the way basically, but you don't need it, you still see it, so it's yeah, it's a bit dumb. But what it also does do is serve as a tutorial for the next boss, which is not much of one, because again, you probably will not link this to being the way to defeat the boss. It doesn't make sense. It just, again, it's not a good set piece at all. It's just a really boring room, and even Sonic knows that it was a boring room that he just wanted to get rid of. Here you just hold forward to get the rainbow ring. That's all you have to do. Another bad booster will not kill you, but you will stumble on the side, and it's just dumb. I don't know how to get up there, except if you deliberately jump off the rail, which you reach through the rainbow ring shortcut. Why would you do that? I do not know. There is no reason to do that. It is completely idiotic to run over there. Again, most of this level is just very badly made. You can completely skip Knuckles here, you just don't touch him. Yeah, you can probably do this as Sonic, I'm relatively sure, though I don't know if the speedrun would do it, because there is an extremely easy way to use Knuckles to glitch to the end directly from this room. I'm showing off an attempt to do that, but I'm not a speedrunner. I'm just showing off the first part, with this first part, which is glitching through the wall. I can do that, and then I die. Look forward to that. Anyway, Knuckles. Ha! First time we use Knuckles. Amazing. Terrible tutorial, because Knuckles is honestly extremely bad. This is something which I learned only during the recording of this Let's Play. Knuckles has a charge attack. You hold down the attack button, and he has homing properties on that. This is by far his best attack, and this is the one where neither the manual nor the in-game tutorial tell you about. Maybe the manual tells you, maybe I learned it through that. Anyway, he has a punch combo which has no hitbox whatsoever. It is tiny, it is far smaller than he is. It definitely does not extend to his fists. So if you do want to punch an enemy, make sure it's stunned before. You do that by using the drill attack, or you just use the charge attack. So what I like to do here is charge up, hit an enemy, do the drill attack, stun them, and then the stunned enemy you can hit with the combo if you actually hit the ground because, yeah, what even are hitboxes, right? Am I right, guys? Anyway, Knuckles can also crawl on walls, which very often does not work in the slightest, and you will get stuck on the wall, but I know how to avoid this because I've played this game frankly too much. I will again show you that at the end with a little bit of a glitch compilation, because boy howdy, there is a lot to show off in this level. And generally, but you can see the combat can work if you know exactly what you do, but most of the time, if you're just using Knuckles casually, this is your first encounter with him, you will suffer here, because it is not good. And it's like, there is stuff like this is happening, where it's just like, he has a death wish, I tell you, this boy. He will fling himself around. These platforms, these narrow platforms, are 1000% not built for him. Let's get to what we actually have to do. We have to light all of these orbs at the same time so that the door will open. This will cause a cutscene of Sonic saying, cool, thank you, and then we move on. So I didn't want to light the orb too early so that I can show off the whole room. What you do is basically you fly around, you glide around, you find all of the rooms, and then you activate them in quick succession. They will eventually go out, so you have to be somewhat efficient with this. And so obviously the very best way to do is to start from the top. This is also something which I will always do. In my opinion, it's the best way to do it, because going up, yes, you can do that, just ignore the enemies and so on, but it's a bit of a mess because Knuckles does not control well. So this is possibly the easiest path. Just go up, clear out the enemies on the bigger platform so that not in the way. And again, lucky timing, otherwise you will get hit here. Always, nothing you can do about it. Absolutely amazing. And again, a room which requires you this time to turn around, but it is, if you look at it, it is still the exact same setup as the other room before was. It's just brilliant. And doing this basically just for points to show off that you can kill the big guy and then it will kill all of the other guys on the bottom. And this is here, this is where the final medal is. If you kill all of the enemies that spawn here, then the medal will spawn, but as you could see here, the homing attack did not latch on, and this is your one chance. You cannot go back up, that's it. This is the end of the level. It is a long level. It is a very boring level. If you are unfamiliar with Knuckles, you will be stuck in that room forever. All of those lava rooms, you might get hit by a projectile on top, you fall down, you keep bathing in the lava. It is trash. It is not a good level. And it starts out similarly badly constructed. These three boosters, it matters which one you pick. If you pick the middle one, this is the correct one to get the medal. The other ones will just see you soaring past the medal merrily, because here, bing, first medal. Yeah, really dumb. Wall running, and then this time I take the shortcut. You see the medal on top, and another enemy spawns. This is the one cool part of the level here. You wait with the last homing attack until the enemy has spawned, and then you do it, and then you have this, and bam, and you immediately get to the end, and you don't even have to kill the enemies to unlock the cage. Rules. The whole level could be like this, but it's not. Instead, it's bad. So this part here, something from another different recording, because I forgot that in the cleanup recording. There is one here. Yeah, you just turn around and then you see it, but it's actually hidden quite cleverly by the camera. And this, for once, this part on the bottom is good to recover from something where you really want to go down. Now this one sucks. It's so bad. People say you need the bounce bracelet to get high enough. You don't. But Sonic's weird ass floaty jump arc can help you get this, but it is definitely not making it easy. As you can see here, I want to jump on this falling platform as high as possible, but it is extremely tough. Cutting to the successful attempt, yeah, doesn't look good. This is how you can do it. But you don't need the bounce bracelet, so that's nice. Again, showing here what you can do if you kill this guy. Again, it just does not reach, and now cage is gone, your chance is gone. That's it. This is why it's so dumb. This one part here is also a bit of a mess. This is how you would normally play this. Complete with the weird ass homing attack targets, and this is what happens if you don't turn around. Like, this is the way the level guides you to go. Up this rail and see these enemies here. Use the new properties of the homing attack to go up, and this is how you reach the end and collect a silver medal on the way. Wonderful. Dark room. Obviously something is hidden in the darkness. You will need this secondary door here. This is a door which I think Shadow takes. So for Sonic it will stay closed. This is also something that is really confusing about this level, because sometimes doors open, sometimes they don't. Then Knuckles has a medal. You would think that you would have to glide somewhere. No, you kill this one guy on an exposed platform, get some medal, and then you have to keep doing it. And then this is why I saved, because this part here, as I showed off, it is extremely hard to kill the enemies here. You only get one chance. I don't know why I didn't fall off here. I should have fallen off here by all means. And this is here. You really need to use the property of the homing attack, that you're invincible while you do it. And then, did you hear it? The metal spawns behind you. And this is where I was like, did I actually pull this off? I cannot believe this. I have to keep this. I had the footage and I needed to save here, because otherwise I would have been like, come on, no, I will not ever be able to do this again. And then you can fix this if you get various shard upgrades. Like you can jump back up with the light blue shard. I tried this, but it's a mess. It's a complete mess, and I was so happy that I got this. So this is basically the canon end of the mission. First time I did it.
I found a Chaos Emerald.
Don't touch it!
What? What's this?
Alright, so another dumb thing that happened with this. As you saw, I had to clean up one more medal. Again, showing off how this could work out. And I only started recording from the point where I collected the medal. I didn't think much of it, but wow, I didn't expect that. I'd actually got the S rank here. It's just extremely tight margin, as you could see. But this was just a normal run. I didn't consider that I would do anything but collect the medal. So yeah, it's truncated. I did not have the footage for the first half of it. I'm sorry. This is what you get, just to show off that there is an S rank, but I will make a full S rank video for this, but it will be a separate video. Anyway, this is how the wall running usually goes. You trip up on the lava spoor, you fall down here, and then you can save yourself if you do this exactly right, but very often it just fall a little bit short. And this is how Knuckles usually goes. If you try to jump off the wall, it does not work. They had an issue with that. They fixed it by making it extremely impossible to jump off the wall. Like, they had an issue with Knuckles not latching on correctly, and so they overcorrected. And this is what you can do here. You jump through the ceiling, and then you die. It's brilliant. It's amazing. And also, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Sorry again for the mess. I hope I made it as little confusing as possible. Please tell me if you still liked it, and thank you very much for your attention.